Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Anand and my group members are Hemdeep Saini and Piyush Meena, and today we will be performing the sharding experiment using MongoDB for our big data analytics lab. So first we have to create nine files, nine directories, three for the configuration server, three for the first shard replica set and three for the second shard replica set. So you can create these files in any folder that you want. So first we have to set up the configuration servers so that they can interact with each other, and then we'll go by setting the second shard replica set, and then we'll go for the third replica set. So for setting the first configuration server, we'll use this command mongodb config server. Then we will use the port command, and here it is the port number. You can use any port which is free in your laptop, which is not listening to any other activity. Then we'll use the command bind ip localhost replica set configure repl, and then the path of where your configuration server file has been stored is listed. Be careful that this path is correct. So first you have to copy this command and then open a command prompt and paste this so that the configuration server gets initialized. So we have pasted the command, and then wait for a few seconds for the server to set up. So here you can see the server has been set up as a listener command. Here you can see on the network tab it has been listed as a network tab, and it is waiting for the other connections to come online. Similarly, we have to now set up the second configuration server. So for that we'll use the same command, but we'll now change the path to the second file, that is the config server 1. And now we have to open a new command prompt and paste this command and hit enter, and you can see that the second config server 1 has also started, and it is also listed as a listener tab, and it is also the message is waiting for connections to come online. So similarly, now we will set up the third configuration server, that is the config srv2. So we'll open a new terminal command prompt and then paste this command and hit enter. And here you'll see it is also listed as a listener tab, and the message is waiting for connection because these three servers have not been connected to each other. So for that we will have to configure them in the Mongo shell. So the next step is to host the first config server, that is config srv, on Mongo shell. So for that first we have to connect to the Mongo shell. So we'll use this command mongo sh host localhost port 28041, that is the port number of the first config server. So open a new command prompt and paste this command and hit enter. So here you will be connected to the Mongo shell, and you can see that you are in the test database. So now we have to configure the three servers so that they can interact with each other. So here is the command for that. Will be use the id config replica set for, and it contains three members, all the three members, that is config server 1 and the config server 2. So here you see it contains three members. Now we have to initiate this configuration so that the three server can interact with each other. So paste this command rs.initiate in the Mongo shell and hit enter, and you will get a message okay that the three servers are connected to each other. You can check that the servers are interacting. First we'll look at the terminals of the all the three servers, and here you can see that the config server 2 is getting new messages. Here you can see in the network tab. If we check the network tab where it was previously listed as a listener and waiting for connection, there you will see that the connection has been accepted, the message that connection has been accepted. Similarly, if you can we can also check the status by using the rs.status command. So if you paste that command in the Mongo shell and hit enter. Here we'll see that the config REPL1 has been set up. The set name is config REPL1 and it contains three members. Here you can see localhost 28041, that is the config SRV, and localhost 28042, that is the config SRV1, and localhost 28043, that is config SRV2. So now we will be going to set up the shard servers for the first shard network. So copy this command of mongodb shard svr port, that is the port number. You can use any port which is free on your network. Then the bind ip localhost repl set, then the shard repl command, and then you have to specify the path name. Be sure that you have specified the correct path name where you have created originally the 9 directories, and you have to mention the shard rep replica set number 1 in your path. So copy this path and command and open a new terminal and paste this and hit enter, and the first shard server will be initiated. It will be also initially listed as a listener tab and will be waiting for connections. As you can see here, it is listed as a listener tab and it is waiting for connections, the other shard replica sets to come online to interact with each other. Now we'll go on setting the second replica set for the first shard server. So open a new command prompt and paste the second command and hit enter. Similarly, this will also be listed as a listener tab and will be waiting for connections. Here you can see that it is also listed as a network tab, as a listener tab, and it is also waiting for connections. Now go on and set up the third replica set for the first shard server. So open a new command prompt and paste the command and hit enter. It will be also a listener tab and will be waiting for connections. So now as we have initiated the first three shard replica sets, so we will now have to connect to the Mongo shells where we will configure the three servers, the three replica set to interact with each other. So we'll use the similar command, the mongo sh host localhost port, and we'll specify the port number of the first shard replica set 1. So we'll open a new terminal and paste this command and we will get connected to MongoS as we hit enter. Here you can see we have been connected to the MongoS and we are in the test database now. Here we will need to enter the configuration of the three replica set servers that we have set for the first shard. So we'll copy the configuration and paste it in the Mongo shell. So here you can see that it contains the three members, all the three replica sets. So now we need to initiate this configuration using the rs.initiate in the parenthesis rs configuration and hit enter, and you will get a message saying okay that the servers have started interacting with each other. So here you get the message okay, and we can now check the status of all the three shard servers using the rs.status command. So here you can see that the set name is shard repl, the shard server, and it contains three members: localhost 28081, localhost 28082 and localhost 28083. So this has been set up. Now we need to set up the second shard replica set, which will also contain 3 other shard servers. So similarly, copy this command, open a new command prompt. The command is similar to setting up the first shard network that we have set up. Paste the command and hit enter, and you'll see the various commands being executed, and under network tab it will be also listed as a listener and will be waiting for connections. Here you can see that it is also a listener and waiting for connections. Now go on and follow the similar steps to setting up the second replica set by using a new terminal and pasting this command. Similarly, we will do for the third replica set also. Now we need to connect this 3 shard servers. For that we have to connect to the Mongo shell, and we'll use the first replica set as the host. So open a new terminal, command prompt, and paste this command to get connected to the Mongo shell. So now we are connected to the Mongo shell, and now we need to specify the configuration of the 3 shard servers. So here is the configuration. The ID name is shard2 repl and it has 3 members. So go and paste this in the Mongo shell. And then initiate this configuration by rs.initiate, and here you'll get the same OK message that the configuration has been initiated, and we can check the status of the so here we can check the status of the configuration using rs.status. So here you will you can see the message that the set name is shard2 repl. The shard2 repl, the second shard has been created. The set name is shard2 repl, and it also has 3 members: localhost 29081, localhost 29082, and 29083. So since now we have set up the configuration servers, the first shard replica set and the second shard replica set, so now we need to configure this and connect to the Mongo S, where we can connect add these 3 shards, these 2 shards, and where we will perform the actual sharding on the file that we will import using the Mongodb Compass. So open a new terminal, paste this command to connect to the Mongo S. Now we need to execute the next command, and we have to execute that on a new command prompt. So use this mongo sh host localhost port. So here we'll use the port 27017. So as you enter this command, you'll see that we have been connected to mongo s direct colon mongo s. be sure that you see this message direct colon MongoS, so that this message comes. If you do not get this message, then that means there has been some error. So you have to perform all the previous steps again. So now since we are connected to the Mongo shell, we now need to add the shards. That is the first shard REPL and then shard to REPL. So for that, you copy this command and paste it in the Mongo shell that we are now connected to, the direct Mongo S shell. Paste this command and the shard will be added. Here you will see the message, the shard has been added shard REPL. Now we need to add the second shard, the shard to replica set. So paste the command and similarly the next shard will be also added. Here you will see the output coming as the message coming as shard has been added, the shard to REPL, the name of the shard. So now we can check the status of the shard by using the command sh.status. So here you will see that the shards have been added, the shard to REPL and shard REPL. So now we have to open the MongoDB Compass where we will be adding the new database and the collection. So as you open the MongoDB Compass, here you will see the localhost 27017 popping up, and so you need to connect to this by clicking the connect tab, and we will be connected to this localhost. Here you will see that we have been connected, and in the database is you will see that there is no database since we have not added any database till now. So first we'll need to create a database by clicking the plus tab. So we'll name the database name as demo and the collection name as zips, and click on the create database. Button. So the database will be created. As you can see, the demo database has been created and the zips collection has also been created. So in the zips collection, we will now need to import the data. So here we will be importing a JSON file on which we will be performing the sharding, the JSON collection file. So click on the import data, and then you can use any sample file, any sample JSON file. Here we will be using the zips.json file. We'll select that and import it in the MongoDB Compass database collection zips. So click on import and the file will be imported, and here you can see it has different fields such as ID, city, lu, pop, state. There are 5 location, pop, state. There are 5 fields. So now we will need to create an index for this zips collection. So we'll be using the command db.zips.createIndex. and here we will specify the field on which we will do the sharding, and the method of sharding that will be hashed using hashed sharding. So here you can see the pop, the underscore hashed has been selected as sharding method. So now here we will now create, if we now want to check the status of the sharding, we can check the status by clicking the sh.status command. So if we now check the status of the sharding, here you can see inside the collections there are two shards. The shard to REPL has 892 chunks, and the shard REPL has 132 chunks. So now we need to change to the demo database uh, to perform the sharding, which we have already changed to. And now we will perform the sharding on a new collection that we will import. So inside the demo, we have to create a collection. So we'll name that collection name as test. And we'll import a new JSON file. Here you will use the test.json file. You can use any other file, any other sample file. So we'll import the records, and here you see the records contain various fields as id, level, tz, slug, country id, population, location id, etc. So here we'll use the slug field for sharding. So in the indexes tab, go to the indexes tab, and you choose an index name. We have to choose the we'll choose the index name slug, and we'll also select the field type, field name as slug, and we'll use the select type as one ascending. So we'll create the index. So since we have now created the index, we first need to enable sharding before performing sharding. So for that, we'll use the command sh.enable sharding and the name of the database. So here we are using the demo database, so the parameter will be demo. So enter this command in the Mongo shell, enable sharding. So we have enabled sharding, and now we will need to shard first. So here we'll first shard the collection, then using the slug field type. So we'll edit that. You'll use the slug and the demo dot test collection, and you, as you hit enter, you will get the message. See here in the here you will see that the collection sharded name is demo dot test, and here you can see if you need to check the distribution of how the shard has happened, we can use the command sh dot status to check the status of sharding, and you will see inside the collections demo.test has been sharded using the shard key slug, and you can see it has other information as chunk metadata and others, and the shard repository used shard replica set 1 and number of chunks. So if we need to check the distribution of the shard, we can use the command db.test.get shard distribution to specify how to get how the database has been sharded. And as you hit enter, you can see that the shard has been sharded at shard repository localhost 28081, 2802 and 28083. Here you can see the information. The data is of 4.38 MB. It contains 4723 records. Number of chunks is 1, and the estimated docs per chunk is 4.38 MB, and the number of estimated docs is also 4723. And you can see that the 100% of data has been sharded and it is present in the cluster. So here you can also see in the MongoDB, it shows as the cluster, the sharded as one mongoose. So this collection of test1 has been sharded, and we performed the sharded experiment. So thank you for watching the video.